This is the Carty Method Podcast.
Well, hello, folks. Welcome to another... I'm glitching. Welcome to another episode of the Carty Method Podcast. Today is Portfolio Lab. It is Thursday. Thursday, I look at your pro-level assignments, meaning I give you an assignment and you go out and you shoot it. Super simple. Today is no different. Today's assignment is super simple. I wanted you to make an environmental image within your niche. An environmental image. Create an image that incorporates a person, a place, or a thing within its natural environment. So if you were a portrait shooter, which so many of you are, it could be someone in their workspace or in their home. If you shoot places, perhaps it's an architectural or a landscape image that shows an environment. And if you shoot things, perhaps it's a product integrated into its relevant setting. So, an environmental image within your niche. This is why it matters. Environmental images demonstrate your ability to tell a story by connecting your subject to its real-world context, making your work more authentic, making your work more marketable. So this was a horizontal assignment, so I'm also testing to see how you shoot double-page spreads, see how you shoot between two pages, see if you understand how to shoot to layout, to a specific layout, which is incredibly necessary. All right, and by the way, if you want to join Portfolio Lab, it's super simple. Just go to thecartymethod.com/portfolio lab and you can sign up. I've actually added some new options here on Portfolio Lab /Portfolio Lab. I've added some new options here on Portfolio Lab where when you sign up now, and also limited availability. I have like maybe 50 spots-ish left. So when you get to my pricing, I offer 3 different options. You can pay monthly, you can pay quarterly, or you can pay yearly and save 2 months if you want to go with me down this road of me helping you develop your book. So I've made that simple. You save some money if you pay quarterly or yearly. All right, so Portfolio Lab, that's how you sign up. Just go to thecartymethod.com. All right, so it is now time to look at our first photographer of the day. This is Nick Rizik, a local painter, wanted shots taken in his studio. 5D Mark IV, 24 to 70, 2.8, 24 to 70, 2.8. ISO 400, shot at 3.5 at an 80th of a second. Natural light with 1 bounced speed light. Gotta get you off speed lights, bro. Gotta get you off speed lights. Speed lights are not for lighting. They're for making a room brighter. And we're trying to be photographers here. You're not gonna hear me talk about speed lights. In fact, you're gonna hear me hating on speed lights quite a lot because they're not for lighting. They're not for lighting. They're for wedding photographers. And if you're trying to do this level of work, you need light. And this is why your light in this particular image seems to come from everywhere. Guys, this is Nick Rizik. Let's look at Nick's photo here. So Nick, I definitely appreciate this as an environmental image. I see that you're framing this very well as a double page spread. So I'm giving you full marks and full credit there. This lays out perfectly for a double page spread. Your light is okay, but it's what I call nothing light. Like I don't really know what's going on with the light. If I zoom in on the eyes and see if I can get a little bit of a reveal as to what you're doing with the light, it looks like it's a little bit of window light. Now, I definitely see that. I'm not seeing what the speed light is doing. Perhaps you're bouncing that off the ceiling. Like, use real lights is all I'm begging. You can hone light, you can feather light. There's so many things that you can do with real lights, and they cost less than speed lights. Please take your speed light to your local camera store, sell it, and get a real light, Nick. Do that immediately. All right, this is an 11 though for me. It's definitely an environmental image. It definitely holds. Your composition is so strong. He's placed like, normally you wouldn't want to be this high in the horizon, but because this is a double page spread and there's no cover masthead, that's super helpful. I want you to notice how his hair is we're losing his hair in the background. It's because there's no like light for his, like there's no light to separate his hair. Or you take this painting and you swap it with that painting, so there's a lighter painting behind him, so his hair actually stands out about the painting. Or you reverse these two. So all of this to say, this is a super good effort. Watch the detail in your shadows. Stop lighting with speed lights, and make sure that you have a contrast point behind him, so it doesn't feel like he's blending too much into the background. I hope that helps. That is Nick Rizik with our first 11 of the day. Well done, Nick. Nick Rizik. All right, this is Nadine O'Connor. Nadine. So here's my environmental picture and a self-portrait. I didn't have time to deal with finding a driver willing to give me the time I needed to create this photo. Plus, it took me several attempts to get this shot. ISO 200, 40 millimeter at f4.5 at 1/25th of a second. Tell me what camera you're shooting with, Nadine, always. Meaning Sony A9, ISO 200. Like, tell me the camera and lens that you're shooting with, okay? You're telling me what lens, but not the camera body. 4.5 at 1/25th of a second. And I do keep in mind, I remember, but I have a lot of people that I have to keep track of. And as new people start submitting, it gets hard for me to keep track of what every camera people are shooting with. All right, so late afternoon natural light. This is Nadine O'Connor. Nadine, thanks for submitting. Let me hide my face. Nadine, this is a vibe. You don't look thrilled. You look, I mean, editorially though, this is well lit. I just need a little bit of a happier face. I know, like, to me, you're starting to look frustrated from the amount of executions. I want you to also notice that you're composing on the thirds, which you hear me talking about every week. This is a third right here. This is a third. And then this is a third. Yes or yes? It's because the camera has these grids and it tells you to compose on the third. So we must follow the rules that are the back of the camera tells us to shoot. But the problem is when this goes to a double page spread, this is what it looks like. And I want you to remember that I talk about this absolutely every week. All we need to do is move the camera this way. Oops. Move the camera this way. So the shot ends here. And then now you've moved over to here. You can see we have a little bit too much top space that we could definitely get rid of. And then that reveals a little bit more of what's happening over here. I know you need a lot of like things attached to your dash and like this kind of stuff, but I feel like if the camera was moved this way a little bit and moved down just a little bit, we would see your shifter and like a little bit more and know that this is an 18-wheeler and not just the inside of a truck. So I know you want to show the headspace here and that's important, but for me, it's almost going too high with the headspace. I really want to see what's going on over there. This is a good swing, Nadine. This is really good light, like really good light. I just, again, watch your expression. Just bring me a little bit of light and love in your eyes and like happy to be here. And just watch your framing. No more composing on the thirds. That is Nadine O'Connor, everybody. Thanks, Nadine. Nadine O'Connor. All right, on to Daniel Joseph. Photographed a friend of mine in his miniature workshop for this assignment. So, miniature workshops, love it. So, Canon 5D Mark IV 24 to 70 2.8, ISO 250, f13, 1/25th of a second, shot with a single Godox. This is Daniel Joseph. Daniel, let's get it on. There's something here. Daniel, but it's very wide angle, so there's a little bit of distortion. You can fix this with lens correction in Lightroom. I'm going to, I kind of have to demo this. So we're going to quickly open Lightroom. Please stand by. Oh, Lightroom's open. That's because I have an M4 Mac Mini Pro. Bing, bang, boom. Okay, so I'm going to show you lens correction. Now, you said that you shot with let's just look at the lens that you shot with. A 28 to 70, but you didn't, a 24 to 70, but you didn't tell me what you shot at. So I'm going to show you lens correction. I'm going to find something here that I shot wide. This is my Founders Summit that I shot yesterday. So let me find something that I shot wide. So we will, this is going to be harder than I thought because I only shot like 3 frames with the 16 millimeter. So rated, I'll find them though, because it's important for you to see how much lens correction affects your image. I'm sorry, this scroll is irritating on the eyes. It's got to be, oh, here it is. Okay, perfect. Okay, so this is an image. Let's go to develop and let's go down here to lens correction. It's right here. Remove chromic aberration. Look at the difference when I take this off. Look at the difference when I take that off. So, now look at everything is bending and not looking exactly flat. And this improves the perspective. So for me, there's something that's happening that's making this look a little like, it's tricky because he's on this far side. So his face looks flat this way. Framing wise, you composed him very, very well. I just wish, like, this is his miniature workshop, but everything that's here on his desk just looks like a mess. Like, the only order that this guy has is up here, but like there's no light down here, and all of this just seems like it's stuff that's kind of just thrown in here. So this is this guy's miniature workshop. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to see like a really cool perspective shot that shows miniatures and then him big, and like, but I'm just seeing, like, I'm not getting the miniatures at all. And if this right here is your demonstration of these miniatures, which is this, with all of this behind, it just looks like a shit show. It's too messy. Like, this table needs to look like he's being photographed for a magazine. And if you were shooting him for the New York Times, if you were shooting him for Forbes, if you were shooting him for a high profile magazine, do you think he would want to organize his space a little bit and make it look a little bit cooler? I think the answer would be yes. So because you're making this photo and you never know who's going to see it, you have to go way harder as far as setup. Light is okay. Exposure in here is a little bit hot. You can see how the exposure in his face here is much different than the exposure on his face down here. I'm not sure what your source is, but the difference in exposure between here and his lower cheeks and down here is quite noticeable. I'm wondering if the light is lighting up here and is actually like you're hitting him like this with the light rather than lighting his whole face. Because you can see down here how different the exposure is and how bright it is up here, which could literally mean like the light, instead of aiming at his face, is aiming above him. So the aim of your light is very important. So these are the small things that I see. The set is too messy. I have to be blatant. The set is too messy. And for me, it's one of those things like, clean your space, bro. Like, clean your space, bro, is the thing that comes to mind. And when you're making this kind of a picture, it's like, what's your photo? So you're kind of responsible for making sure that space gets clean before you shoot. I hope that helps you. Environmental image. This guy's environment just happens to be super messy. Daniel, just be more disciplined with like, okay, you want to shoot this guy? He makes, okay, show me something cool. Like, show me you making something. And if this is the space like that he works in on a regular, you got to be like, okay, before we shoot, you got to clean up the space. Like, I'm sorry to be so blatant, but yeah, this feels like, I don't know. It's too busy. It's too messy. I hope that helps you, bro. All right. That is Daniel Joseph. All right. Miss Denise Tuggle. So, Denise has been putting in work. Okay. Denise, has been meeting with my operations manager, Garan, and Garan is incredibly a very talented product photographer. He found me to help him with his product photography business. Denise is trying to be a product photographer. Denise, when I opened my accelerator the last round, she was not quite ready. She was not quite good enough with the work in order to be able to get in there. Denise has been putting in a lot of work. This is just a note from Garan. Denise had a meeting with me at 6 a.m. her time, 6 a.m. last Friday. And the product that I'm about to see, she shot this product 9 times. 9 times. Each morning, this is Garan's words, I'd wake up to an email with her photo and a picture of her lighting setup. I'd give her feedback and she'd adjust and she'd repeat it. And she did this 9 times. She put in the work, and this is what it takes to go pro. Now, Garan says we still have a journey ahead, but he believes that Denise really leveled up with this photo, and this is what Portfolio Lab is all about. Like, truly, this is what Portfolio Lab is all about. People caring so much, and a community that cares so much to support. So this is Orange Soap product photography. Nikon D700, Tamron 24-75, shot at 60. This is ISO 100, f14. Let's go. 1/125th of a second. Let's go, Denise. Shot with a newer fill light, 1 softbox, and a newer flash set at a 64th power. This is Denise Tuggle. Denise. Well, this is way, way better on so many fronts. It's way, way better on so many fronts. Let's look at how this frames as a double page. So you see what you did here, Denise, is you framed the product perfectly in a place that we can read the logo. You put the bar on the gutter, and I'm okay with that. You have orange slices on the other. It's on a very simple wood tray. The hand towel, shooting white hand towel is always going to be hard. The tile background, the super low horizon line, like you listened to everything that I've said. I mean, yes, there's some centering here and here, but you leveled up. I want you to see your framing and see that, yes, you could have moved it over just a touch, but I appreciate the effort. Your light, we're still working on your lighting and crafting light to the point like it makes sense for this space. The light does appear like it comes from everywhere and nowhere at the same time. But I think for you, Denise, this is a massive level up. And for me, it's unequivocally, that means that that's an 11. Denise, you're on your way. And it's the beginning of you really realizing what it takes to be a full-time working photographer. This bar of soap, because you're putting these, like you're placing suds on here, keep in mind, like this is shampoo suds or dish soap suds. Like I know that because I know bar soap doesn't suds the same way. So if you're using like dish soap to get these suds and then like strategically placing that here, you and trying to make me think that that's from this bar soap, what you have to do is like wet the bar. The bar needs to be wet so it has a little bit of gloss to give you that feeling like you actually used the bar to get this sud. But then how would you place a bar of soap after it's been used? I do not think that you're going to stand it up and like lean it in such a strategic way. So then the bar would be flat, right? And then how would the suds be if the bar was flat? Well, the suds would kind of be on top of it and maybe a little bit on the tray. So small things, but the more you practice, the more you're going to get better at set design. This is a huge leap and an 11 for me today. Let's get it on, Denise. Way to go. Congratulations, and I'm proud of you. All right. Denise Tuggle, making moves. This is Kevin Curtis. Excuse me while I clear my throat. Kevin Curtis. This is a Volkswagen GTI in its environment, out for a Sunday drive on a winding road. A7R Mark IV Sigma 24-70 28 ISO 100 6.3 1/1600th of a second. Natural light. This is Kevin Curtis. Kevin, let's get it on. So let's see how this fits as a double page spread. Right away, Kevin, what am I seeing? I'm seeing, why are you so claustrophobically close to the edges down here? Why are you so, bro, step back, bro. Step back. You have 2 feet in a heartbeat. Back up. Back up. Look at how this goes to a double page. Do you see how this hip is just right on the gutter here? You see this gutter and how close that gutter is to the hip of this car? You see how close this is here? Like, do you understand? This is an art director's nightmare. Because you're going to give this to an art director and he's going to be like, back up. Back up. I can't now crop in. I can't do anything because it's a horizontal. It's 2 pages in the magazine. You can't crop it because look at a horizontal. A horizontal is exactly 2 pages in a magazine, perfectly with no cropping. Now, if you print this, you lose 1/4 of an inch around your whole picture, which is 1/8 of an inch on each side. That means 1/8 of an inch up here, 1/8 of an inch here on this entire side, 1/8 of an inch on the bottom, and 1/8 of an inch here. And also, so that causes anxiety for art directors. It causes anxiety. And guess what? Volkswagen just paid you 50 grand to do a double page spread. 50K for a double page spread. And all you needed to do was back up. But you didn't. And you have a zoom lens. So you're using a lazy lens. Lazy lenses mean you can just change you change the perspective. Go from 50, or in this case, 35, to 33, to 24, to anything that's not the perspective that you're shooting, because this is called claustrophobic. This is claustrophobic. And that makes people feel like, oh, dude, like that feeling when someone's looking at your photo makes them turn away, makes them click another photo. So the car company, guess what? They don't use that image. They use another image from another photographer that shoots a little bit looser. So the art director, designer, person who's laying it out can decide where they think that the crop should be. You doing this means you're like, yep, that's it. That's it. That's the crop. Bro, you're just the photographer. You're not the fucking client. You're not the client. So the client is like, okay, that's your crop. Cool. We're not using you. Let's hire this guy who understands how to shoot looser. So, Kevin Curtis. This is too tight. It is a sick picture, and again, you dropped me low in the horizon line. It's a beautiful shot. The car's clean. It's like I'm a Volkswagen fan. Like, yes, on all that stuff. Like this would be so close if it wasn't so close, okay? Because I gave you a flogging, I'm going to give you an 11 on this environmental picture, but please, my friend, do not make this mistake again, okay? Don't make this mistake again. Be looser, not tight. That means when you're shooting vertical, don't put the head way up here and the feet right at the bottom, so then you can't make an 8x10. So step back. Like, I love shooting exactly the frame, but I mean, you can't. You can't. You just can't. All right, yo. Hey, Mr. D. Rowe, I think your name is Dan. Just put down some hard-earned cash. Smoke machine, turn on. Please, go on right now. My smoke machine's apparently not wanting to turn on. It's on. It's still working. Apparently it's still warming up. I turned it on a little bit late, but I will definitely hit your smoke once that comes on. I appreciate you, Mr. Dan Rowe, with the $4. Don, sorry, Don. Appreciate that, Don. Jesus, I wish it said Don Rowe instead of D Rowe. It would just lock it in for me. Thank you for your donation. All right, that was Kevin Curtis. This is Romeo Fowler. This is Macy, bartender, one of our local cafe bars. XT3 50mm 1.4, ISO 250, f 4.5, shot at 1/60th of a second with strobe. This is Romeo Fowler. Romeo, thanks for submitting. Romeo, this is a vibe. This is a vibe and very much an editorial picture. It's very much like a great editorial picture. This is really good. Hey, Dawn, that's for you. Appreciate you. Smoke. Because he donated. Because when people give money and show appreciation for what I'm doing, I got to show appreciation for you showing appreciation. So, hence the smoke. Back to Mr. Fowler. Romeo, this lays out nice as a double. You can see you biased her just a touch that way. The goal is to cut the frame in 4, actually. I want you to lock that in, everybody who is watching at home. Cut the frame in 4. Okay, look at that. I'm doing it right now. 1, 2, 3, 4. And also, some cameras, you don't have to pick the 3x3 grid. You can pick the 4x4 grid. So if you now use, that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, 4. Okay. So if you use a 4x4 grid, this is actually the money for composing for magazines, editorial, and print. So it's actually a 4x4 grid. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 down. And what that gives you is a center marker, and then it also gives you center of that center. And then you can see here, if your subject was just pushed over a little bit, so her head was here and her face was here, well then now, and her shoulders here, well then now she's balanced perfect within that frame. But you can see she's just, you can see here just how her shoulders and the distance here and how close, this is claustrophobic. That is too close to that edge. So this is the only issue, Romeo, is that her face needs to drop there. And when you're shooting doubles, that's the one thing that you need to lock in. I think that she's pushed over just a little bit too far. There's room here for an article to go. It's hard. It would be hard to put something up here because of the bottles. You would have to put a box and then drop your text over top of it. But editorially, this is definitely a vibe. Really good light on her. Different head angle. I would have liked to see different variations of the head angle, but this is a yes for me. This is a yes for me. Just watch your framing on your doubles, Romeo. But the thing that makes me happy is that you went, you found her, you asked her, and you created this environmental portrait. It's a new person. And for you, Romeo, this is you outside your comfort zone and actually making photos. So this is a huge level up for me. It makes me happy. Good shit. Good shit. All right, guys, we are at 194 members. My goal is 1,000. I'm trying to get 1,000 members. Now, if I have 36,000 subscribers and less than 200 are members. Less than 2, that's insane. So you can imagine, for me, I do members only chat because those 194 people are my true hardcores, not people who are just passing by, people who are dedicated to what I'm doing here and dedicated to getting to the next level with their work and their photography. So I think, hey, Mr. F, look up here. You just made Jordan cry. Mr. F just gifted a membership to the channel. Mr. F, how kind. Very cool. Thank you. And Ramon Trotman, who should be a member already, considering he's in Portfolio Lab, just got gifted a membership by the very generous Mr. F. So, Ramon, Mr. Trotman, say thank you to Mr. F. And also consider keeping that membership going once it expires, because gifted memberships expire in 30 days, by the way. They're not forever. All right. This is Adam Lee. Adam, So Pedro paints a wrought iron fence under a cloudy Texas sky. Z8, 35 millimeter, ISO 100, f8, 1/160th of a second. Shot with a Westcott strobe. This is Mr. Adam Lee. Adam, let's see what you're doing here, bro. Adam, this is a vibe. This is a vibe. This is almost like, this is like, I hope, here, I'm going to just say it like this. Adam, I hope you know how great this is. I hope you know how great this is. This is fucking great, bro. Editorially, this is great. Great. I have nothing to say, but yes. Yes. And is this a portfolio image? Yes. Do I hate his baseball shirt? Yes. But again, it's like it's the character. You know what I mean? He's wearing Will's Point Tigers. Would that shirt hit any harder or less if he just had a blank shirt? Like, no. It doesn't matter. This is a textbook environmental picture. Really good spacing here. Like this is like, the spacing has to be this. Okay, like that's standard. That's like, we'll call that almost an inch, like a quarter of an inch, a half an inch. Obviously framed really nice in a double page. He took this part of the roof off the gutter. You took this off the gutter. You dropped your fence line on the gutter, which is totally fine. A horizon line low. I mean, yes, there's a couple of distractions here behind him. Having him placed in here in that nice shadow could have been nice. I mean, it's tricky because environmentally there's lots of distractions and there's lots of blocks that like grab your eye. The leading line is really dope. I like the fact that you're pulling me into the picture and showing all these like identical homes that just seem to go on forever. And you lit him, you know, so the light on him is inspired, but doesn't overpower. This is absolutely unequivocally a yes. This is unequivocally a yes, a yes, a yes, yes, yes. So guess what's coming back? I've made so many updates to this whole thing that we're doing here. I gotta share. I gotta share. Number one, guess what's coming back? What is coming back is my professional photographer's accelerator. Now, my accelerator, you got to be on the wait list if you want to get into this. But this next round of my accelerator, I'm doing in 6 weeks. 6 weeks. That means every weekend for 6 weeks, I'm going to deliver the Carty method to you. There's going to be a cohort afterwards. And in 6 weeks, you're going to have the whole entire Carty method system in your head. And then I'm going to give you 3 months of ProLab support. 3 months of ProLab support. What is ProLab? Well, ProLab is the next thing that I've dropped, and I'm so excited for ProLab. Maybe you're already a working pro photographer. Maybe you've been a pro for more than 3 years. Maybe you need a group of pros that are just like you. Some of them, like my level, way more advanced than you. Some of them a little bit newer than you that you could help. Like, this is a weekly hangout for pro photographers. It's lonely out there. And the support that you get from ProLab it's unprecedented. This doesn't exist anywhere for established pro photographers who are full-time. The only way to get into ProLab is by being a full-time pro photographer, or if you sign up for my full system. And my full system I've just released. You used to be able to buy my phases a la carte. And now you can only buy one phase a la carte. And that phase is phase 0. You can get a la carte, but you can buy my whole system, which includes all 6 phases. There's 7 masterclasses, 7 workbooks, and you get access to Pro Lab. And if you choose, you can get Portfolio Lab or Portfolio Lab and Pro Lab. This is 6 months of Portfolio Lab and 6 months of Pro Lab and Portfolio Lab and my complete system, all the support that you could possibly need to grow a photography business. So I've launched that as well. I've made huge strides with this site. Please go check thecartymethod.com and see how I can help you. Sign up for something. If the very least, get my free pricing guide, and that's going to help you get to the next level quickly. All right, guys, let's get into Mr. Kyle Kiono. Kyle says, I wanted the sewing to look like it was in action by getting it to blur. So debated whether or not to clone up the clock. 35 millimeter, ISO 100, f4, 1/60th of a second. Shot natural light with minimal fluorescent kick in from the store. All right. This is Kyle Kiono. Kyle, thanks for submitting. Kyle, there's a vibe here, bro. There's a vibe here. The light is not right. The exposure is not right, but the vibe, there's something here. It would have been okay if you cloned the clock out. I wouldn't have missed it. Let's look at how you framed this. This is framed excellently. Excellently. There's something lacking in the light. There's something lacking in how hard it hits with like exposure and contrast. I feel like that's more of a processing thing than a way that you shot this. Kyle, this is absolutely a banger, bro. This is a yes. This is an environmental picture. It really is, like, it says something. It speaks to me. I love the colored threads in the background. Like, this says order. I mean, yes, there's a little cut back here, but that's okay. Yes, she does have a big piece of fabric here, but that's what she's working on. Like, yes, there are a couple of things. Like, to me, it's okay because she's so big in the frame. She dominates this whole page. So the only thing that I have is this page. And on this page, I get this huge, big block of color, another sewing machine, and fabric, which is more than acceptable. This is absolutely a yes. I just want to work on your post. That's all. You just need a little bit of post help, contrast. It needs a little bit of pop. Like, it doesn't have that snap. It feels flat. When color feels flat, it feels washed out. There's something in post-production that I think we can help you with to really snap this up. This is an 11, Kyle. I hope this brings you value. This brings me value and makes me happy because you're growing. Good shit, Kyle. Taylor, how we doing? You good? She's good? I never know where she's going to turn up. Actually, really, she always turns up right here. It's reverse left to right. So I look this way, but she's actually over here. Secret time. You two still with me? You guys having a good time? Enjoying yourself? You over there? Your dementia is setting in, I'm sure. You, I'm not sure about you, but yeah, I appreciate you being here. You see, I told you dementia's setting in. I told you. All right, let's get it on. By the way, you are watching Portfolio Lab. If you've never seen my smiling face before, have you never seen me? Holy moly. It's crazy if you don't know who I am.
Treat everybody like a superstar. Famous people less like a superstar. I treat famous people like real people. I started as a photographer, I would say professionally, when I was 20. My brother's a fine art painter, heavy influence on me, and I couldn't paint, so When I discovered the camera, it was really easy for me to express myself creatively. Everybody's in the business of glorifying celebrities, so capturing them, it's already glorifying them by photographing them. So if I can get them a little bit more understated, I feel like it brings up the real. In 1997, I shot Tom York from Radiohead, most important picture of my career. In 2001, I shot Pharrell Williams for Peace magazine. Again, very important picture. Colin Firth, a week before he won his Oscar, career moving pictures where that picture propels a whole new wave of clients, a whole new wave of people looking at my work. I think pivotal career-changing pictures are more important than favorite pictures, because they're all my favorite. The whole idea is make good stuff and share it and do it every day.
Honestly, when people are on YouTube and they're talking about photography, the first thing that you should do when you see somebody on YouTube talking about photography is you should see who that person is. This is the first thing you should do. The first thing you should do when someone's on YouTube, like, do a little Google search. Do like, hey, Google, tell me about this guy, Steve Carty, that I'm watching. Like, that's the first thing that you should do. And of course you'll see my website, but you'll also see, if you scroll and you see, like, let's go back, there's how many different instances of me. It doesn't tell me how many different things on Steve Carty there is. And again, you'll see Black Fashion Canada. You'll see my Behance profile. You'll see Moo does this article on me. And it's like, okay, Moo, portrait photographer that does blah, blah, blah. You'll see Vice Magazine. What? Vice Magazine did a whole article on me. Okay, Vice, thanks. And it's important to see, like Vistec did a whole thing, 5-minute portrait with Steve Carty, blah, blah, blah. Like, I mean, look how handsome this young guy is. Before I got gray. So listen, it's important when somebody is calling themselves a photographer on YouTube that you look them up. Look them up. Like, look them up. Try to find, like, hey, who is this Steve Carty guy? And try to find, like, who is this Evan Raft guy? Who is this pick a photographer who's calling themselves a photographer on YouTube? Just find their work, go to their website, and see who they've photographed. See if you should be actually listening to them. See. And again, I'm not going to talk about all these famous names. Here, I'll tell you one, Ja Rule. Pete Rock and blah, blah, blah. And Grandmaster Flash and Bounty Killer and Ciara and Beanie Man and Bobcat Goldthwait and Daft Punk and DMX and Pete Rock again and Strombolopolis and Pharrell Williams and the Port. Like, I am a photographer first. Okay, I want you to not ever get it twisted. Michael Sheen for Hamlet, all the key art for The Porter, Krista Kim for Vogue Singapore, Say Yes to the Dress, Metro Morning, Cardinal Official, Cardinal, Eddie Griffin. Like, this is what I do for my full-time living. I'm on YouTube as a service because there's not enough actual working photographers that work commercially helping the next generation of photographers make it. What if you look at your favorite photographer on YouTube, someone who has 500,000 subscribers. Like let's pull this guy and look at his portfolio and his commercial photography. Okay, so you went to a Porsche event and shot some photos. Okay. And then Microsoft Xbox. Okay. And Heineken. Okay. And again, I'm not trying to shit on anybody. I just like the people who are in Portfolio Lab are making better pictures than this. And this guy has 500,000 subscribers on YouTube. So again, I talk about stuff that maybe it's not always sexy, because photography, part of it, a huge part of it is not sexy. Like 20% of it is making work. 20% of it. The other 80% of it is building and running a business. Okay? Without understanding that, you don't get hired to do that 20%. Guess what else? If that 20%, the work, if that work isn't so preposterously good, then you don't have anything to build a business on. So I created this Carte method and the cartemethod.com, and like I created this system to help photographers go from like taking pictures to making pictures, go from their 9-to-5 job that they hate to a full-time photography career. But you have to do the work. You have to do the work. And who are lazier than a photographer? Find me a thing that people do that are lazier than photographers. I know, because I deal with tons of them. And I got to tell you, some of the most amazing people, but also we get stuck. We're creatives. We get stuck and we don't know what we should be doing next. So we do busy work and we think that that's moving the needle, but it's not. So, I'm very passionate about this, and I don't care if you like me. I honestly don't care. I don't even care if you watch me, because the people who do like me, the people who do watch me, the people who get me, they're dedicated, and those are the only people who I'm speaking to. The people who have an attention span. That's it. Doyle Daniels. Look at what you just did to Jordan. You made Jordan cry. Michael's crying again, bro. Doyle Daniels, one of absolutely my most generous viewers, has gifted a membership to this channel. He wants more people to be a part of this. He's trying to get this number to 1,000, but it doesn't work with gifted subs because they expire every month. You got to sign up on your own, and so it can be a reoccurring membership. That's how we keep this shit going. And imagine, I'm trying to make it so this is a commercial-free live stream. The reason that it's commercial-free is because I have members. I have members activated on my channel. The people who choose to sign up makes it so you who haven't signed up get this commercial-free while I'm live. You get it commercial-free because other people are paying for you to have that. So consider also, jumping in there. All right. Doyle, thank you for your generosity. This is Gerard Danso. So Gerard wants to know if he can keep this assignment in his portfolio. 5D Mark III, 24-105, f4, Mark II, ISO 50, f9, 1/320th of a second, shot natural light. This is Gerard Danso. Gerard. Environmental image. Environmental image. Let's look at this as a double page spread. Environmental image. I mean, yes. What I want you to consider is like him on this page looking in that way instead of on this page looking that way, just because this is where the blank is and his skin and contrast, like it not being distracting there. I want you to think about the mixed light. You see how he's shade here, but the sun is coming down top, so it's lighting here, it's lighting here, and his not Caucasian skin is getting very white in the highlights. That's because it's mixed light. Overall, compositionally, it's okay. You got to watch the elbow. It's very close to the gutter. And his hand position on his face is very like posy. Like, you know what I mean? We've talked about this. We've talked like so many times about like the new pose is no pose. Both of his hands in his pockets. Like, just like him chilling. You know what I mean? Like, but him having like, or like doing something, it just looks posy. So again, that I have a bit of an issue with. Good framing. He could have gone a little bit higher in the frame. You could kind of drop his head here, and not cut his hand so radically. Like, his hand doesn't need to be coming out of the frame here. You can have him have his arm behind his back. You know what I mean? So it goes that way, but stay like the eye line isn't like taking us out of the frame and then radically cutting him there. There's many things that he could be doing with his other hand. These are small things. Obviously, we have trees and stuff like that coming behind, which is why I would consider placing him here and then you in the same spot, and having him look back in that way into the frame. Again, though, Gerard, this is a picture that you can put in your book, yes, but again, I want you to understand that this is an evolution. We're developing, and I'm developing you into a better, stronger, smarter photographer, and I want you to be noticing isms. If people like touch their face a lot, don't take the photo when they're touching their face. Just be like, hey, bro, why are you touching your face? Hey, nerd frame, look at you. Appreciate you. Thank you for becoming a member. Thank you for becoming a believer. Nerd frame, appreciate you. Appreciate you. Let me give you a little light show, because we like to do that. Give you a little bit of vibes. Appreciate you. Thank you for becoming a member, becoming a believer, and joining. Hitting the join button is all you have to do. All right, guys, that was Gerard Danso, all the way from Ghana. Gerard, thanks for submitting. This is Chris Beard. Chris says, Carl of Fire Grill, a barbecue stand in Alaska, at home, firing up his smoker for the first time. Emma, just mark these done after I've reviewed them. He's pleased with his chicken wings. Thanks for jumping into the notion. Chris shot this with the D700 with a 50mm 1.4 ISO 200, 5.6 at a 400th of a second. Shot natural light. This is Chris Beard. Chris, let's get it on. This is a vibe. I mean, Chris, this is so close, but I feel like I'm going to hold this and I'm going to show you and I'm going to smile. Like, it just takes this from a really strong like, look at the clouds, bro. Like, this is one of those like epic pictures. I mean, the smoker with the truck behind, like, that makes it kind of busy, especially because this is a white truck, and then it kind of hides that, like, that smoker is so massive. But this is the pose. This is the pose in this situation. Chris, the pose is this. He's got the piece of chicken in his hand. His arms are crossed, and he's holding the piece of chicken here. He's like this. He's holding the piece of chicken here. Or, guess what? He's not holding a piece of chicken at all. He's got his arms crossed like this, like a boss. Like, that's it. Him like that, you just took this crazy editorial moment and you snapshotted it. You made it a snapshot. And you made it a snapshot because of what he's doing. This is hokey. Do you know what I mean? Him holding the chicken and this like, hey, I did this. Bro, we know you did this. I know, I see. You're standing right next to it. Clearly, I know that you did this. Now, like, I need proud, cool, like iconic. Like, you want this, look at this scene. This is an iconic, powerful. There's smoke, there's trucks, there's dirt, there's wood, and then he's smiling. So there's nothing badass about the smile, and you're not matching the iconic and the powerful of the scene. Like his sleeves pushed up the way that it is. It's just like he's like, it's just not like, pull the sleeves down, have him cross his arms, have him sit right here, have him put his ass right here, and now his head is here, and then his arms are crossed here, right? And now his legs come up here, and now it's like there's options as far as how we can make this picture. Have him stand over here, so now he's blocking part of this truck. Yeah, there's a couple of different ways to hit this. I also want you to look at your lines. Like this, we're gonna assume that this is a straight line, right? So let's watch that straight line. Yeah, it's pretty straight still. And the barbecue, it's pretty straight. I guess it's just, it looks like the road looks like it dips down. Because of that, there's like different planes. It feels like this is going downhill for me. It is, but it's so slight. It's so slight, but it's because it's so slight. Just fix it in Lightroom. We have a grid. We can fix that. This is good though, bro. Like, I know that you're new and we're just trying to get you into that like vibe. This is an 11. I want you on your next thing is make sure that the expression here is actually matching like the entire scene. And for me, what we're trying to do when we're making photos, I want you to think, how many times in a magazine do you see, like, you don't see that. It's like, you got to editorialize it, and you editorialize it the way that you were composing it. But his like, hey, thanks. Or it's like going, a guy like doing one of these, like when you're trying to shoot like a super powerful portrait and they're like giving you like, that's what you as the photographer, you have to correct. And for me, we missed that one element in this photo. I hope that helps you. Number one rule for photography is don't let your models be hokey. Don't let your subject do anything, especially guys. It's rarely smile. Like that's rare. Like that's what his mom would tell him to do. Oh, you took a picture and you didn't smile? It's like, it's not the kind of pictures that I'm making, Ma. You know what I mean? So get that like smile for the photo out of your head. That was not a smile photo. That was like a boss photo. So know when to get your subject to be the boss. All right, this is Mike Graves. So shooting a friend wearing a local brand while he cuts wood to make bike ramps. A7 4 50mm 1.8, ISO 640, f4 1/160th of a second. This is natural light. This is Mike Graves. Mike, you are a lifestyle photographer. You are a lifestyle photographer. I have to just help you develop into one. This is so close, Mike. This is so close. The saw blade, which this is the company that's going to hire you. Okay? This is the company that's going to hire you. I'm going to say again. I'm going to say it a third time. This is going to be the company that hires you. Would they be happy with their saw blade going across the gutter and then being all distorted and stuff in the magazine as the magazine gets printed down like this, and then it sort of off registers? Like, would they be happy with that? Now, would it not have been better if he was walking with that and he had it up? Like, rather than having it low, he had it up, like as if he was just about to cut that tree that's right in front of him. Instead, it's down. And if it's up, now the angle of that blade comes in such a way that it keeps it within that. Like, imagine this at this angle. Instead, it's at this angle. Same picture. Same picture. And now, guess what we read? We read this right here. And then it's on an eye line where it's far enough from the gutter. And also it looks like you're coming to cut that tree. So that is my only issue, framing wise. Now let's go in tight on the company that would pay you to shoot this and see how that's working for them. And you can see noise and you see camera shake, movement shake. Because in this picture, when you made this picture, you didn't know, like, and again, you said you're shooting this guy's brand. So for you, this was the thing that was the most important, because you said it's like, this is the most important, the guy's brand. And so you put on this brand as he went out and cut shirts, as he went out and cut trees. So let's look at his brand. Even his brand is not as like sharp and tight, and it's a little noisy. That noise comes from your ISO, and you shot ISO 640 with a Sony A7 IV. I feel like to me, like, I would kick a little bit of strobe in here in order to, because it's backlit, in order to make this feel a little less hazy and a little bit more editorial. This is a really good swing. And again, I went really deep on the axe. Even if you're shooting for this clothing brand, you should also be aware of all the products that you're showing, all the products. Who makes the helmet and protective gear, who makes this protective gear, and who makes the chainsaw. And again, if you're shooting apparel like this really has to hit and be super, super sharp. This is a great picture though. I'm giving you an 11 on it. I just want you to watch all of those fine details that I showed you. Obviously, you're going to get a little bit of motion blur if people are moving that way. I want to look again at 50 millimeter 1.8. 50 millimeter 1.8 at f4. See, that's where I would have not shot that at f4. I would have shot that at a bit of maybe a 5.6. And it's hard because you can't really slow your shutter speed down. You need to kick in more light. That's basically what you have to do. Guys, you still with me in chat? You still paying attention? Seems like you guys stopped sending me messages. All right, guys, that was Mike Graves. And again, compositionally strong. Compositionally strong. I just want you to watch where that blade goes, how this goes as a double. I know you were shooting the clothing. Yes, what you said. You were shooting the clothing. But the whole part, including the chainsaw, would also, like, I kind of forgot that you were shooting once I saw the shot, because I'm like, well, obviously he's shooting for the chainsaw company. But I remember you have shot for this brand before. So again, good vibe. Good vibe. I gave you an 11. It's compositionally strong. It's just a couple of small little tweaks that you could do. Good shit. All right, this next one is Mike Morrison. We have 3 more photos to look at. This is Mike Morrison. Mike, haven't seen photos for a while. Welcome back. Mike's in my accelerator program. Mike says this is a Zamp racing shoes and helmet shot with the Sony A7 R5 with the 24-70 50 millimeter. It was shot at 50 millimeter with the 24-70 at f16 at 30 seconds at f50. This is Mike Morrison. Mike. This is starting to get better for me. The commercial feeling, the commercial application of this photo and the way that it's framed. You are very claustrophobic though. I want you to watch here. This is stressfully claustrophobic there. This is fine, but this on this side is closer than that is over here. down here is stressfully close. Steering wheel, a little stressfully close to the gutter. For me in this picture, you could pull back, like you could step back like 1 foot and not lose the impact of this photo. But overall for me, Mike Morrison, the exposure on the shoes is good. The helmet is good. I like this on the, like the halo, blah, blah, the red gel on the inside. This is a yes for me. This is dope. It's a yes for me. And again, racing shoes and helmet. It's, yeah, dope. Dope. This is a yes. Yes.
Yes.
All right, Taylor. She says yes. Oh my goodness, Deadpool. Where we at? Where we at now? Hello. Oh, there we go. Wrong fingers. All right. Let's get on to our second last photo of the day. This is Mr. Charles Fortin. Charles, actually, when he found me, he was in Nicaragua, and he signed up for my professional photographer's accelerator while I was in Nicaragua. And then, like, again, his work and his whole everything when he jumped in the accelerator really leveled up. And like I want to show, and again, you can also watch me help Charles with his portfolio. I did a whole episode on helping him build his book. But to see what this guy's portfolio looks like after being with me for, call it 5 months, and seeing how far Charles' work has progressed and how he understands now how to package it. And I mean, he's in the system. He's in the Carty method, and he's in ProLab, and he is in Portfolio Lab, and he gets it. Charles makes profound pictures, like profound. And this is just one of the people who are in my professional accelerator. And of course, ProLab. Like, so Charles now, he flew back to Canada. He landed in Quebec. He had to pick up his truck that he lives in, and he, cause he's a tree planter as well. And he repaired his truck, and then he was driving from Quebec all the way to BC. And he asked me if he could meet me. So I, of course, Charles, yes, come hang out with me. And we had a good afternoon, had some food, and like I got to meet my girl. And yeah, it would, like, Charles is a dude. And as you can see, he is no joke as a photographer. This is the level of photographers that are using Portfolio Lab, that are using my system, my accelerator, and Charles. And also my advice as far as website builder and all. This is really, really special, Charles. So Charles is in the middle of a new self-directed project about tree planting. So this is Carl replanting a burn forest in the Okanagan Valley in BC. So he's aware that the composition won't work with a magazine gutter, but the image is too impactful for me to dismiss. Show the A7 for Tamron 70-180, ISO 1250, f5.6 at a 500th of a second. This is Mr. Charles Fortin. Charles. Yeah, Charles, I see this, and I see why you shot it this way. I understand it. It's ominous and powerful, and it's also like a really quiet moment. I also want you to recognize that this would work as a vertical. I know this week was a horizontal assignment, but I want you to see that this picture also works as a vertical. Like, of course it works. And it like, look, it works perfectly as a vertical as well. So there's multi-uses when we shoot horizontal. Like, I mean, we are losing like a third of our frame. We're only using like half of our frame when we do this, but I want you to know that there are multiple ways that we can repurpose certain images, which is why we don't like overcrop, because we never know how art directors and designers are going to see our work. How many at home didn't think of this picture as a vertical when they saw this as a horizontal? If you didn't see, oh my God, I didn't even think that you could use this as a vertical anyways. Like, you didn't see that. That's part of the reason why people use somebody who's 3.5 decades ahead of you, who can just, I have like decades of foresight on you, decades of experience on you. So I can help you with these situations, because everything you're dealing with, I've dealt with before and more. All right, Charles, this is a yes for me, bro. This is a yes. This is strong. This is strong tonally. I love the fact that like we're actually not seeing his face. I see his trees behind him. I see his, like, this guy looks like a machine. Like he just is a tree planting machine. This is dope. Dope. I am pleased. And yeah, this is an 11 for me, Charles. Well done. It's great because I like to call it seeing the matrix. And there's so many different matrices we have to see. We have to see the matrix of like understanding the market and understanding how to make work that fits within a market. You know, like that's just like one of the matrices that we have to see. We have to understand how to like package that work and put that work into the marketplace so it's seen in an industry standard way. Like that's this other matrix that we have to see and figure out. It's the packaging triangle, and that packaging triangle is your portfolio, your website, and you. Like you are such an important part of your packaging triangle. And next it becomes marketing. Like, well, there's also a marketing triangle, and that's another matrix. And being able to put yourself out into the world and have your work seen and valued in such a way that people want to pay for it. Like that's this other matrix that we have to learn and figure out. So this is all the stuff that I try to teach. It's hard to see the matrix. It's hard to see all the different matrices that we'll actually come up against. But they don't stop. They just keep coming. I'm moving through all of these levels with my career, and like the things that are happening now in my 50s, it's just like I never thought my life would be so good. All right, this is our last photo of the day. This is Chris Foster. For this week's assignment, I shot Air Jordans at the Howard University Rec Center basketball court in Washington, D.C. R5, 50 millimeter 1.2, ISO 100, ISO 100, 1/160th of a second at f4.5, shot with a single strobe. This is Chris Foster. Chris, thanks for submitting. Chris, you're getting some polish on. You're really starting to get this. The ball, let's move this ball over here. Maybe. Having the ball and that on the same page. Your lines, this line you have straight up against this, but then this line becomes really hard to have this line also straight. Although this line and this line are both parallel. It's tricky. There's better light on the shoe than is on the ball. Let's look at this as a double. As a double, you can see how we're a little bit tight to the gutter here on the toes. A little bit further here, so the spacing of the shoe, spacing of the ball. That's why I said the ball could probably place right here. Because now the ball's centered, the ball's black. It's still on that red paint, but it's over here, so it actually offsets. And then it gives like this cross composition thing happening. So placement of the shoes. I personally would have lowered the whole scene. So I have this shoe not with this line going through, like I have this shoe on jet black. You could also do that right here on the key if you want to show the school's logo. You could also do it over here and just do it on this part and on this part and have the ball on that side and the shoe on that side. As far as your quality though, Chris, like something happened with your quality this week. Like this is a massive level up as far as the light on the shoe, my guy. Like this, Chris, holy moly. This is a massive level up on light on the shoe. I want you to watch up in here where your highlight's starting to burn out. I want you to watch here, which seems like the shoe has a dimple in the toe, like it got pressed in. Do you see right there? It got pressed in. So you have to go inside the shoe with your finger and like pop that little spot out because it's not happening on that side of the shoe. So there's a divot there that you have to pop back out. Obviously, when you come in this tight, you see these fine hairs like this. We take all that stuff away. Up here, this hair, we take that kind of stuff away, and all of this, any of these flaws on the leather, we take all that away. The shoes look better than any other shot that you've done of shoes outside. So however you lit this, please repeat. This is a level up for you in light. And I would love a re-execution. I would love a re-execution with the basketball placement and your lines, like just a little bit more disciplined. But for me, this is a yes. This is a yes because it is a level up. I do want you to, again, when I show this double page frame and you see this ball here so close to this shoe, you know the ball is begging to be right here, right? You see that? You know the ball's begging to be there. And you can see, because that's going through here, that this shoe is begging to just stand on the black alone and be a little lower. These are the small things that I see that's going to take this 11, Chris, into a stratospheric kind of a picture. Whatever light you were doing on this picture, please repeat. Please repeat. I'll say again, please repeat. Well done. That is Chris Foster and our last photo of the day. All right, guys. So I'm going to find some photos of the week because there's quite a few. I'm also going to remind you that every Thursday I do Portfolio Lab workshop, which is on Zoom. It happens on Zoom. It happens every week. And I got to tell you, it's the highlight of the week because I get to meet you, I get to talk to you, and I actually get to solve your problems live, like right there. And I don't really stream these, you know, like sometimes I like let you guys or my members watch these Zoom hangouts. You're very welcome, Chris. But lately they're just too good for YouTube, Guy. I'm sorry to say. They're too good for me to be putting them on YouTube. Imagine for $50 a month, $47 a month, 4 Zoom calls with me. I charge $300 for a single Zoom call with me. You know what I mean? I'm giving you access to 4 of them, plus my photo reviews. All of that for $47. Like it's insane when you think about how cheap it is. The Zoom calls make Portfolio Lab so much better. We build businesses. We come up with people's niches. Garan often shows behind the scenes of shoots that he's working on. I show behind the scenes of stuff that I'm working on. I just did a huge stuff. And I also talk about tactics and strategy and I'm putting together this really sick offer. So I just for my photography clients, we just build stuff in there. That's what Pro Lab is about. That's what Portfolio Lab is about. And my Zoom calls are so valuable. If you're in Portfolio Lab and you are not in these Zoom calls, oh my God, you're doing yourself a huge disservice. Today's Zoom call, we're starting in an hour. It starts at 2:30. So, wow, that please show up to my Zoom calls. Please think about joining Portfolio Lab because it is so valuable. So valuable. All right, let's get into this week. We are doing level ups. We're doing level ups. Okay, we're doing level ups and we're doing establishing shots, meaning this is kind of established like a bar for you. And I got to tell you, this week there are more photos of the week than not, and more honorable mentions. So I'm incredibly hard on you guys, man. I really am. But it's so necessary. It's so necessary. It's the only way that you get insanely good. It's the only way. But praise, I have to be free on praise. And I'm gonna give some praise. After I give you grief, praise. Starting with first photo of the week goes to Nick Rizek with this absolute textbook double page spread. Of course, Nick, remember everything that I said about this photo in order to make it better, about your light. But Nick, you get it. This is Carty approved. Congratulations. And again, best photos of the day is what I'm sharing. Okay? Best photos of the day. Ladies and gentlemen, our next photo of the week goes to Miss Denise Tuggle. Denise, it's photo of the week. Denise, the amount of level up that happened between this picture and your previous picture is astronomical. I am incredibly proud of you. I know how hard you try. And I know, like, the way that I describe it is you're trying to be a Formula One driver and you just got your license. That's what it's like, is you're trying to be a Formula One driver, you just got your license. So there's going to be some mistakes. But the work that you did this week, it's as if we just taught you how to skid steer. Like, it's as if we just taught you how to drift around a corner. It's beautiful to watch. So Denise Tuggle, that's a photo of the week for you, girl. Congratulations. Congratulations. Well done, Denise. You want more? You want more? This is a new shooter who made a mistake that he will never make again. The mistake is it's not passable. It's not passable. But it is. This is a lesson, but it's also a photo of the week. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Kevin Curtis. Kevin, it's a photo of the week. Environmental portraits. Oops. No. Stop. No one told you to do a slideshow there. No one told you to do that. This is a photo of the week for Mr. Kevin Curtis. Kevin, smoke. Applause. Thanks. Appreciate you. Well done. Kevin Curtis. This is also a level up for this photographer who sometimes doesn't do the things that I know that he knows that he needs to do, like putting himself out there, putting himself outside his comfort zone, and getting new humans in front of his lens. New people who we've never seen before, people who he's never photographed before. Ladies and gentlemen, your next photo of the week goes to Romeo Fowler. Romeo, yes. Light, yes. Just a little bit on the framing. You're just pushed over just a bit, but I'm very proud of you, my guy. Hey, Berserk, welcome. Very well done, Romeo. Photo of the week. And this shooter, who this picture hit like a fucking ton of bricks. Ladies and gentlemen, our next photo of the week, Adam Lee. Let's go, Adam. Welcome to the Carty crew. Welcome to Portfolio Lab. Show up at our Zoom call. I'd like to see your smiling face. This is Adam Lee. That's a photo of the week, bro. Environmental portrait. Environmental images. Adam Lee. Oh, here's another. Here's another photo of the week. This guy leveled up. Leveled up, leveled up. This is Kyle Kiono. Kyle. It's a photo of the week, bro. You leveled up. You leveled up. I was waiting to watch the contrast. It's a little flat, but still, bro, you get it. You get it. And you saw The Matrix this week. Well done. Well done. Kyle Kiono. Well done, Kyle. This photographer, or I'm hoping that this guy's on the road back to being sick. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Gerard Danso. Gerard. Again, hard on you, bro, but I need to be. I need to be. You need a whip at times cracked next to you so you do the right things. Seriously. You need a whip crack sometimes. I'm giving you love. Gerard Danso. Oh, I can't. This I can, no. This is an amazing, amazing photo. Guys, this is another photo of the week. This is Mr. Mike Graves. Mike, well done. Well done. Just a yes, bro. Yes. Yes. Feel it. Feel it. It's Carty approved. Yes. Remember everything I said, though, about your reviews. Everybody who wins. Oh, this photo of the week. Welcome back to Mr. Mike Morrison. Mike, that's a photo of the week. That's Carty approved. Congratulations. Welcome back. You came back swinging. I like when you come back swinging. Remember everything I said about your review and your edges. Very well done. Mike Morrison. Oh, yeah. This guy, photo of the week. Very consistently from Mr. Charles Fortin. Charles, so consistent with your photos of the week, bro. And again, I get it. Center focused. You could have offset this if you really wanted to. You could have figured out a way to bias this left or right, but it's okay. This works for me, and it can be a vertical. It's Charles Fortin. Charles. Who, and our last and final photo of the week. Again, another level up. This is the wonderful Chris Foster. Chris, you leveled up this week, bro. I want you to listen to everything that I said during this review. There's still some compositionally aesthetic things, but you leveled up this week on light and lighting shoes on location. I'm very proud of you. This is great. Guys, very well done, Chris Foster. Well done. Best in show. I'm still waiting for you to make me vomit in my mouth for best in show. Best in show only comes when I'm disgustingly happy. I'm making best in show happen way less. For the assignment of environmental image, okay? For the assignment of an environmental image, I have two people photographers and one product photographer. So, first, best in show this week. I'm going to save that to last. Sorry. I'm going to save that to last. First, best in show this week. goes to Charles Fortin with this picture. That is your first Best in Show today. And your second Best in Show. Oh no, we're going to do this. We'll do this. The second Best in Show today goes to Mr. Mike Morrison. Mike, that's a Best in Show, bro. Well done. Very, very well done. Very well done. And my last Best in Show, and what I will call my favorite photo of the day. And just so you know, you just put yourself on my radar, like proper now. Guy, favorite photo of the day goes to Adam Lee with this Best in Show right there. Adam, so proud of you, bro. Please show up to this Zoom. I want to meet you. Guys, I hope today brought you value. So as mentioned, I have new offers. We got new offers on thecartymethod.com. We have Portfolio Lab, which you're watching right now. Portfolio Lab, you can buy monthly with the setup fee. There's a $47. If you pay monthly, you want to just come and go, cool. Here's a setup fee. Every time you sign up, you pay an extra $47 for the privilege of paying monthly. If you pay quarterly, you don't pay that monthly fee. You just pay 3 months at a time, and then you get billed every 3 months. Or you can pay yearly, which is the equivalent of paying for 10 months. And you pay that at once, and then you don't pay again until a year from now. So I've added that. So Portfolio Lab has some new pricing. Pro Lab is new. The weekly creative hang for working photographers. And this is the dopest thing. You can join here right now. Just go to Pro Lab here. And of course, I've just released my system, the entire Carte Method system, which a majority of the people who are participating in Portfolio Lab are also in my accelerator. My accelerator is I deliver this to you week by week until we go from phase 1 to phase 6. It is a 6-week sprint where I deliver this to you. If you do the system, you watch my masterclasses, you do my workbooks at your own pace, and you're supported with ProLab, which is at least one Zoom call a week. If you sign up for ProLab, you get ProLab and Portfolio Lab. If you sign up down here for the system plus Portfolio Lab only, then you only get Portfolio Lab. You don't get access to ProLab. So I have 2 different tiers. This one, you get Portfolio Lab and ProLab, which is 4 additional Zoom level calls and even more support from me and my community. So this is the dope shit. That is all live on my website. If you right now at home are watching and is like, that's for me, I see it I get alerted the second that you sign up for something. So super dope. Guys, today brought you value. Remember, today is our Portfolio Lab workshop in Zoom. It starts at 2:30, which is in 40 minutes. I'm not changing the time and making it any earlier. I'm going to have a little chill. And then I will see you guys on Zoom at 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. I hope today brought you value.
This live stream was brought to you by Pixpa, the best website builder for photographers and creatives, and Indie, the best way to run your freelance business, and by you, the members and subscribers of the Carte Method. Consider becoming a member for $5 a month to show your support for our content, and we'll reward you. You get members-only content every month and Carty has the best emojis on YouTube, and you'll get that crown badge next to your name. If you're building a photography business, make sure you join Portfolio Lab. How ready are you to be a pro? Take the Carty Method Pro Photographer's Readiness Scorecard. You'll always find helpful links in the show notes. Sharing is caring. If this content has brought you value today, share it, clip it, post it to your socials. Curating and sharing helpful content makes you an expert. Even if the content you're sharing isn't yours, be a curator and share this content with your network. Find your creative and business genius with the Carty Method.
Thanks for being here, everybody. Thanks for finding me. Sharing is indeed caring. I'm trying to get to 100,000 subscribers. I can't do that without you telling a friend, sharing this shit to your social network. And again, if you know somebody who's trying to run a creative business that's struggling, that's running a photography business that needs support, send them my way.